hopefully,
Men.
okay.
It's 2 pages too.
It was 2 pages, right?
Yeah, but they're different.
Is that is the first one?
That's the second one. Yeah, that's the first
All right, here's the first one. Let me try to read this shit for you. All right, chat. Okay. It says, and the white hooded sweatshirt. Additionally, Affiant learned that Christopher Watkins was ordered to wear an ankle GPS. Okay, so this is a police affidavit. Wait, hold on. Is this a police affidavit? It says Affiant. Hold on. Affiant obtained a GPS. Blah blah blah. Da, da, da. Affiant and Detective Watson later interviewed Willie Bland. Oh, this is a police affidavit then. Later interviewed Willie Bland, who admitted to firing the weapon at the scene, though he said he didn't know the caliber of the weapon. He stated, make this a little bit bigger, chat, sorry. Okay. He stated that he had seen two males we identified as Joshua and Watkins, okay, throughout the evening with guns. He said he was watching them both when Quavo was arguing with them just before the shooting. And as Quavo turned to walk away, he believed Joshua said something and began pulling a gun. So he reached out and punched him. He thought that the males were about to try and rob Quavo. Willie said that he shoved the other male when he saw him coming towards him and heard gunfire erupt around him. What? So he punched Joshua, then he said he pushed Watkins, right?
Okay.
He said he shoved the other male, which was Watkins, when he saw him come towards him and he heard gunfire erupt around him. Okay, so basically that's almost hinting to Wax's question. Willie Bland, aka Migo Bands, did not say he fired first. He's saying that he fired second, or he fired in response to the shots being fired. Willie said that blah blah. Okay. He believed it was probably Cameron Joshua shooting at him, so he began shooting at Cameron Joshua. Video showed that Joshua ran back inside the bowling alley and that he was armed with a handgun, but there's no video evidence showing him firing a gun. In fact, it appeared that he was running away into the bowling alley when the gunshots began. 3 gunshots were fired into the bowling alley from Willie Bland's position in the direction where Cameron Joshua ran. In Affian's opinion, these shots could have not caused the injuries to the deceased victims or the living victims due to the shooting angles, positions of parties, and the victims' injuries. In Affian's opinion, the video evidence supports Bland's statements regarding his actions before, during, and after the shooting. Okay? So here's the funny thing. Here's the thing about the streets. Willie Bland gave these statements saying this is self-defense. Yo, niggas start shooting, I shot back. Remember they asked 1090 Jake this? Is that snitching? For you to get self-defense, you got to say what you did. Mm-hmm. And when you're saying what you did, it has to be in response to what somebody else did. So you're telling on somebody else, essentially. Okay. Woody Bland also told Affian that he ran from the scene on foot until he got to the intersection, blah, blah, blah. He used his cell phone to call for a rideshare service from Lyft. Then he went straight to the airport. What the fuck?
Damn. No luggage or nothing?
He went straight to the airport and fly back to Atlanta, where he's from. While waiting on the lift, he stated he put his handgun inside of a large flower pot behind a luxury apartment located at whatever. He took us. Oh, shit. Nigga gave them niggas a tour. He took us to the location.
Oh, damn.
And we found an empty hole in one of the flower pots. We obtained surveillance from the apartments and records from the lifts that show he was picked up from the location.
Damn.
We obtained the records of Willie Bland's Lyft ride via subpoena and learned that his Lyft driver was local resident Michael whatever. The Lyft records show that he was driven to the airport, but the flight records we obtained for Willie Bland show that he had flown back to Atlanta from George Bush International. Whatever. Affian spoke with Montague that advised Affian that he had picked up a mail matching Bland's description on that night in question and had driven him to the airport. However, he said that the mail then realized he was supposed to go to Bush Airport and asked him to allow him to charge his cell phone and began calling for a ride. He said he waited with Willie Bland for approximately 20 minutes until someone in an unknown truck came to pick him up. He said Willie Bland, for 20 minutes, okay. He said that Willie Bland left with whoever was driving the truck. Flight records show that he flew back to Atlanta later that afternoon from Bush Airport. Affian believes that Michael Montanati provided credible and reliable information regarding this investigation. Based on a statement, Willie admitted to firing a weapon at the scene and then tampering with the evidence by taking his weapon from the scene and conceal it in a flower pot blocks away before fleeing the area and then leaving the state. It also appears that he was not entirely truthful about his Lyft ride because he never told the Affian that he had called an additional ride from someone he knew after going to the wrong airport. He provided us with his phone number. The Lyft records showed that the same phone number was being used on the night of the shooting. Reliable, blah, blah, blah. Obtained carrier information, My boy got at T-Mobile. Affian knows through training and experience with common everyday use that cell phones are indispensable for living in this modern age based on training, blah, blah. Okay.
The hell was that? Explanation.
No, they're basically trying to say that this ain't a burner phone. This is his phone.
Yeah.
Because they don't have no proof to know that he was actually using the phone, but they're saying it's more than likely he was using the phone because these days people don't use burners. All right, let's go to the next part. Okay. Video evidence showed two different males firing weapons from different directions during the incident. Affian reviewed a lab report created by Firearms Examiner, from the Houston Forensics Center, which stated that all 9 of the 40 caliber casings had been fired from a single weapon and the 9mm casings from a different weapon. This was consistent with the video evidence showing only 2 men firing guns. The video showed that a large black male who appeared to be associated with the victim's group, that's Migo Benz, was firing one of the guns. However, the angle of the gunshots and the physical position were not consistent with the bullets that could have caused the injuries to Kirschner-Ball, aka takeoff. The angle and location of the injuries could not, in my opinion, have been fired from this person. Further review of the various videos showed that the victim's fellow group member, Quavius Marshall, Quavo, had been arguing with 2 young black male, one small male wearing a yellow hooded t-shirt. Damn, weren't we right? Cameron Joshua, and a larger male wearing a white or light tan hooded sweatshirt, identified as Christopher Watkins. Now, Christopher Watkins.
Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, we got to figure who that is. Jack, could you write that down? Christopher Watkins. Video evidence obtained show that Quavo and those 2 younger men had all been involved in the dice game inside the bowling alley and that they were arguing outside because the 2 young men had won money in the game. A large black male with the victim, later identified as Willie Bland, is seen striking or punching these 2 individuals. We interviewed Willie Bland, who admitted to firing a weapon at the scene, though he said he didn't know the caliber of the weapon. He stated that he had seen the 2 males who were identified as Joshua and Watkins throughout the evening, and that he had seen them with a gun. He said he was watching them both when Quavo was arguing with them just before he reached out and punched him. He turned. He thought the males were about to rob Quavo. Willie said he shoved the other male when he saw him coming towards him. Okay, he believed My bad, chat. Like that's just far, so I could barely see it. The video showed Joshua ran back. Blah blah. Okay. Willie stated that he got the gun from Jazz Prince, who was hosting the event. Willie stated that he had asked Jazz for a gun, and Jazz provided him with one that was in the truck. After he learned from Sergeant blah blah when he conducted research on social media and was able to view the Instagram stories from multiple different accounts that depicted parts of the events prior to whatever, the party at the bowling alley and the dice game, to the shooting. Sergeant Watson observed that the below Instagram accounts posted stories depicting part of the events of the incident. Sergeant, okay. So this is Mike Prince. Also, they use Mike Prince Instagram. Then they use CEO of Ecto Rapalot ENT. We looked at all these people's Instagram, by the way. We looked at all these people's Instagrams too. I gotta get this full police report.
You are no longer because God put.
Somebody said this is not snitching. Well, essentially, Migo Benz is saying that he shot in self-defense. It appears that the police believe he shot in self-defense because they didn't charge him. But it looks like Jay Prince is unhappy that he's getting the benefit of the doubt with self-defense when he's saying, why isn't the guy that is cool with Rap a Lot getting this benefit of the doubt? And essentially he's saying, yo, of course he's supposed to get this benefit of the doubt for self-defense because just think about the events that played out that led up to this, which obviously this is contradicting the police report. They're saying Migo Band's fired first, right? Which, interesting enough, there's so much to think about. Even if Migo Band's didn't fire first, maybe if he laid the first punch, he was the first aggressor, how could he be getting... If I punch you, shots eventually start getting fired, right? They're gonna...
Shoot me though.
I know you're gonna say I ain't shoot you, but I assaulted you.
Okay, so it could have. Instead of you beating my ass back, you shot. Well, especially self-defense law type shit. You can't shoot me, but if niggas died because I threw a punch, then the nigga who shot is gonna get the charge, not the nigga who punched him. He's talking about Jay Prince talking about the police shit, but when it's police, it's different. If it's a regular civilian doing it, the nigga might get hit with involuntary manslaughter type beat.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if